welcome back, Grant Training Systems, with our wonderful model Vanessa here today. We're going to go through 3 hip exercises that I have previous videos of, but my goal today is to have someone much prettier do them and also get them all in one video so they're easy to send to all my clients like you. Alright guys, so we're going to start with our first stretch. It's the hip opener, but it's also a fantastic diagnostic tool for how someone's doing their squat. So Vanessa has been briefed with what she needs to do. I'll go ahead and get out of her way. And as we see, Vanessa starts with the right leg in a 90-degree angle. So the reason this is a fantastic squat diagnostic tool is we can take a look at the client's knee and see if it's going too far forward, going too far out, going too far in, because if you look at this, it's a half position of a squat. So in her position, you're going to notice when she wants to lower her body down, it's going to be important that she gets her knee out of the way. And this is the movement that we're looking for, is 90 degrees with the leg, but the knee is pushed out just a bit. She's starting in the first position, which will be for a lot of us our only position we're able to reach due to lack of mobility. But right here, she should feel it underneath her hip and also possibly in the left side of her hip flexor on her leg. And now in this position, because Vanessa's mobility is a bit stronger or better, go ahead and drop down on both elbows. And as you can see, when she moves into this direction, her hips do not completely turn. She's still quite parallel in order to keep the stretch in the same region of both her right and left leg. Now in this position, we can also add the contract relax component into it, which would be Vanessa would focus on pushing the right foot down into the ground and basically contracting the left leg as if she's like kicking a soccer ball into the ground for 5 seconds at about 50% of her strength. So after those 5 seconds, she would then relax the contraction, breathe, and focus on going a bit deeper. After she's reached her final point within the depth of her stretch, she can also work on rocking left to right a little bit. And when she pushes out, she will feel a little bit of a push within the hip capsule, if you will, of that right side. And what this is this just a nice way to naturally get that femur to push a little bit on that capsule, causing immobilization. So we would do this 5 to 10 times, hold this stretch for about, I don't know, 3 to 5 to even 10 minutes sometimes with our higher level athletes until we feel that the position is opened up and a bit more relaxed. Alright guys, so now we go into stretch number 2. So this is going to focus on the quadricep and also the hip flexor. Vanessa's been briefed again, so she's going to get back into her hip opener position here. Again, we're going to use the right leg forward for the direction of this film. And now with her right hand, she's going to grab her left ankle. And then from here, we've got 2 options. We can really focus on pushing this hip forward, or we can focus on pulling the heel to the butt, or we can focus on both. As a coach, what I can do is I can block her leg here, and I can also push forward to accentuate the stretch. Now, we have another option in which we can target the area that we want to stretch. If we want to go more towards the adductors and hip flexor, I would tell Vanessa to push more open in front with this knee coming out. If I want to focus more on that rectus femoris, I would have her turn her body a little bit. So the leg turns, we get more on that lateral side, and she pulls the ankle closer to her butt. The contract relax component here, what we would do is I would tell Vanessa to focus on kicking her foot down towards the floor in an isometric contraction for about 5 seconds, again about 50% of her strength, and then after that, relaxing, breathing out, and then trying to go deeper into that stretch. Alright guys, and number 3, you've noticed we've changed our location. We're now against the wall here. Vanessa again has been briefed in this stretch, but I'm going to walk you through it as she gets in the position. So Vanessa, you've been briefed on what you need to do. What we're going to have her do is her right leg is going to come all the way against the wall. Now this is the goal for the stretch when we know that we have full range of motion. When we are lined up with her ankle behind her bum, she's going to then take her leg out into a squat position. So again, it's similar to that hip opener position. From here, what we're going to have her do is 2 options. One, we can have her open her hip flexor in this position, or we can work on stretching that quad and getting a bit of a, we would say, anterior, not tilt, but shift in that pelvis. And what we would do here, Vanessa, is you're just going to lean down all the way against the wall. So come all the way up, exactly. And then what we can do here is we can focus on that full range of motion of that quadricep, but we can also work on shifting that entire pelvis forward. So what we will notice is between this stretch and the one on the floor, being both quadricep specific, you will feel a much different range of motion in between the two. If it is not possible, where your knee is completely against the wall, you follow the same direction, but you just slide your knee out a little bit. And of course, if your wall is painful, you're more than welcome to wear a shoe while you do this. But make sure that heel always is behind the butt and not sticking out to the side, because we want to keep that torque into that stretch. All right, guys, so as always, if you have any questions, write on the wall. Sign up for the newsletter, get these bad boys right into your inbox at gtsgermany.com. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, as we always say, Google awesomeness, and you will find us here. And if you heard any of the noise in the background, that was Simon, the owner of Mach Bar, creating awesomeness. So if you want a piece of that, come here, ride us, stop by, do whatever, and until next time, peace.
Bye.
And thanks to our beautiful model. Ciao.